Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our public meeting. Today, we are going to talk about diversity. Being Spiritist, it's being inclusive. Welcome on this rainy day in Dublin. So, this speech I gave in June in celebration for the Pride Month. So, but I think it's important to repeat again and refresh, because it's something we have to practice every time. It's part of being spiritist. You know, so I'd like to start first with our initial prayer. And if you're there and you sit comfortably, close your eyes. Breathe in and deep. Breathe in and breathe out. So you set your mind to connect to the spiritual world, to your mentors, to your guardians. Elevate your thoughts towards Jesus and God. First, I'd like to thank for this opportunity of being here, talking important matter. Thanks for everyone who's watching or will be watching this. I'd like to ask the spirituality permission to be talking about this subject. May their words be spoken, and so be it. Okay, so let's start. Diversity. So it's something. It's a very trendy, let's say, but it's something that we need to talk. We need to talk about, and we need to emphasize how uh, we in the spiritism see inclusion, how we this is really important, because it's really easy to fall in pragmatism and in old traditional. We need to highlight this very importantly. It's very important, especially if you're a parent, your children are growing up on a diverse environment. This is really important. We as a parents, we are the first ones to teach our children, and we teach by example, not by talking, not by saying do this, don't do this. We teach by examples. And we're talking about for more about the mission of the parents here. But it's not just for the parents, and it's for everyone. We live in a society, in a world that's diverse, and is we have a demand for diversity, because for a long time we were made to believe that society or people are just the European type, and it's not. Our world is so diverse. Our human beings are so diverse. Not only nature is so diverse, the universe is so diverse. So there's we need to stop this concept of everyone's equal, everyone it's same and not equal, same. Anyway, so this is just an introduction. First, let's gonna get just some uh, the word diversity, what that means. So the Oxford Language Dictionary define as the state of being diverse, variety. That's the first one. So diversity, diverse, variety. We different things, the practice or quality of including or involving people from a range of different social and ethnic background and different gender, sexual orientation, religion, and etc. So being diversity today means, much more about the second item, you know, We see companies, you work companies, we see education school, always, educating about diversity. We are different. But before we talk about diversity, difference, let's gonna get to equality, because this is an important. From the equality, we're gonna get to diversity, and just bear with me. I know they are not opposite, they're not different things. They just complement. So equality in Spiritism, let's gonna see in the Spirit's book the definitions we have. What talk. So this is a question 803 of the Spirit's book, and Allan Kardec asks: Are all human being equal before God? Not that they are equal, they're being. Are they being really, being equal before God? And the answer is straight yes. All tend towards the same goal, and God has made His laws for everyone. So God has to treat everyone equally, but we're gonna get back to it. So therefore, God has not granted any natural superiority to anyone in regard to either birth or death. All are equal before God, no matter wherever you are, who you are, and what semblance, what genetics you have. You are equal to God. You're not better than any other human beings, but you are accountable for everything you do. That's we know. So we are equal. But let's gonna dig a little bit more. So all are created simple and ignorant, and that's the equality. We created in the same way, and we're talking about creation of God, acquiring. So we all created simple and ignorant, but acquiring knowledge through the struggles and tribulation of the corporeal life. This is being, human being. When we come to the earth and reincarnate in a corporeal life, being just, that's something, and we have to be very careful. God is just, of course, not only just, but is just. Sometimes we don't understand His justice, but He is just. God would not have created a blessed field without trouble and toil. Would just a few. I'm gonna create those fields without trouble or toil, so would consequently have no merit either, because we are created all simple and ignorant. We have the same goal, which is evolve morally, develop, evolve spiritually, and towards God, towards this, being as perfect as God. So, and we're not saying here that we're gonna be God one day. We're not saying that, but we say when we acquire all this baggage from many, 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 many reincarnation, then perhaps we get to be the part of the angels. Don't worry, we are far away from that. Everyone's far away from that. We're not nowhere close. So that's the quality. God is just, and gonna treat it the same way, and in the same way, He's gonna give us all the opportunities for our growth. Of course, He has laws on that's gonna help us to keep on that, on the path. We go out of the path, we need to feel the consequences to go back again. Anyway, so equality. But are we all equal? Like when I see me as a human being, Juliana Lazzari, I'm equal to anyone else? No, we're not. We're not. Spiritists are the individualization of spirits. Spirits, so the spirits are the individualization of the intelligent principle, just as bodies represent individualization of the material principle. So as a spirit, we are different. We are actually unique, and we come, just our body, my semblance comes from the genetics I took from my ancestors, And the spirit is actually the individualization, that in each existence a spirit takes a step forward along the path of progress. So every time we reincarnate, we take a just small step towards our progress, our spiritual development, our moral development. A spirit may find himself each time there, we say here on earth, in a very different situation, each of which will be a different opportunity to acquire experience. So that's how we become unique, because my path of development, it's just, I took, because I use my free will. In every reincarnation, I took my decisions, my free will, and I went back on the wrong path. I tried to get back again, or sometimes I kept, on the wrong path all the time, not seeing. So that is what makes us diverse, because although we are all equal before God, there is no like few blessed people who God create to be, on my blessed club or something like this. No, that's not, because he can't do that. It's just so. A spirit may find himself each time they are on earth in a different situation, each of which will be a different opportunity to acquire experience, and that's it. So, as a spirit, we are unique in our own intelligence principle, just like in our body, And if I reincarnate in another body, I'm gonna take the the resemblance from the ancestors of my, next mother and father, So we're gonna be all different as well, in each existence, It came to mind here. There's the story of I think it was in Boston, and he remember of his mom, and he came in a white, so he was white, in a white family, and he was talking all the time since he started talking, and you remember that, and I think until 7 or 8 years old, and he was talking about his black mom that was born, that the family he was born, he was black, his black mom that died in a fire accident. I don't know if it was Chicago or Boston or something. It's somewhere there in the United States. And he talked so much about, they actually found the the, the building that, in the fire. There was a fire a good few years ago, and it was on a newspaper, the story of the woman who jumped, and it was a black woman. So it's kind of they realized, and it came from a family that didn't believe reincarnation, didn't even, think or thought, but those things happen, so we will be diverse in each, even, we'll be different in each reincarnation, yes, probably, so this is just, to prove that we are diverse. We are only equal before God. And, for the law, it's supposed to be equal, but, human beings as not perfect beings, our laws are, our economic system, our society, it's not perfect, and it's not, it can be not equal. Let me see here. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really important topic. I think it's worth it, reminding and repeating again. So here we get to know what we say about equality and diversity. God has created us all. God has created all spirits equal, but each one has lived over a longer or shorter period of time. And we're talking spiritually, many reincarnations. Just, the day we are born, there's, the time that spirits are born. But this is another subject. So and has consequently developed their aptitudes to varying degree. The difference stems from the amount of experience acquired and the degree to resolve their free will. We know we have our free will to choose our path, to our path of development. So we are created equally, but because each one goes on your own path, through the reincarnations, the tribulations, the turmoils, to learn. The tribulations is actually, it's more when we go to the wrong path, that the laws of God are there to remind us. You need to go back to that path, So sometimes and we see so much suffering, in the world, and we ask, oh God, why is there so much suffering in the world? Well, yes, a good consequence say, yeah, no more from tomorrow, no more suffering. But have we learned what is actually to be not cause anyone else suffering? No, we haven't. We haven't. We're still selfish. So, and God doesn't go against his own laws. He created the law. There are immutable laws. So anyway, don't want to get much more on the reincarnation part, but this is important for us to say we are equal before God because we've been created equal, but we are different beings, and not only on our semblance, but as spirits, because some spirits are older than the others. Some have passed many reincarnations, probably learned more, or sometimes there's spirits that don't even go that many reincarnations, you know but the spirits were able to use the free will wisely, let's say, make the right choices, which it's really difficult for us as a human being. So this maybe their path to development is going to be a bit shorter, and it's just, but it's no cutting corner or anything. It's about, learning every time we come. Every time we reincarnate, we come and we become different beings, different from the last reincarnation we have been. Just like we come in a different body with different assemblies. So that's one, big reason that we need to embrace diversity, because we are diverse, not spiritually speaking, but in our, our body, our reincarnations. So, thus, the diversity of aptitudes among individuals, it's not related to the instinct nature of their creation, because we all created equally, but the degree of perfection they have reached as spirits throughout several reincarnations. God has not therefore created an inequality of faculties, but allowed spirits of different degree of development to be in contact with one another, so that those who are more evolved can help in the progress of less advanced, and so that all men, realizing that they mutually need one another, may appreciate the law of charity that is here to unite them. The charity is here to unite us. Anyway, so uh, that's another reason as well, for embracing diversity, embracing respect, tolerance. Now, let's gonna dig up about this one. So when we say God has not created an inequality of faculties, because we are created simple and ignorant, and we go on our own path, on our free will. And as I said before, some will make the right choices. Maybe the path is gonna be a little bit short, just a little bit, not much. Some gonna, didn't make the right choices. So it's there, it's gonna take longer, but we all, like we are all in the same stormy sea, but each one in your individual boat. We are not in the same boat because we are different, you know. And this one also explains that part why we have, some geniuses coming, reincarnate here on Earth and bringing knowledge as well. It's and those geniuses usually is for their learning as well. They bring knowledge to us. Uh, they make us, uh, make Earth a little bit more evolved than was before. And I'm not saying like we are, evolved. We know, just counting the solar system here, we are not, we are far from being, a little bit evolved. We know that. We are aware. So um, God has created us for this purpose, for us to evolve, to make better. And we need one another in order to do that. We need people who are a little bit more evolved coming to give as an example, you know. And I'm not saying the only perfect example we had here on earth was Jesus Christ. That was the only perfect example. So we have to, it's for our own benefit to live, by his messages, his teachings. We like to do it here. He came here to save us by teaching us, not because his blood, only because his blood was, um, he was assassinated. His blood was Roman to heal the saints. The the most important thing, he came, not only that, he came here to pass us this message, the message that for us, to our development, our spiritual development, our moral development. 2000 years and we're still struggling a little bit. Yes, we are. Progress, it's not something you cut corner, not spiritual progress. So it is gonna take time, but we have to be making the right choices and embracing diversity. It is the right choice. So that's why, we say what is being Spiritist is being inclusive. Why? What is this? So how can we do that? So therefore, make every effort so that your fellow being, on observing you, are induced to recognize that the true Spiritist and the true Christian are one and the same. You know, given that all those who practice charity are the disciples of Jesus, without putting any embargo on whatever sect they may belong to. So this is part of the gospel according to the Spiritism. Without charity, there is no salvation. We need, and we're talking about the charity that, it's not giving money or just giving your time to do something. It's, you know, making your own effort to make a better version of yourself, of ourselves. We need to do that. We need to make every day, every reincarnation, a better version of ourselves. And we do that with examples, not with words. Really, we, talking about, oh, I do this charity, I do this, oh, I did that for this, doesn't count points, on your test for, evolving morally, being a better version of yourself. But your actions does. Every action you do, is gonna count, because when you truly do, you actually learn from it. You gain more knowledge, more experience, and that's the main reason we reincarnate, getting more knowledge, more experience. So when we talk about being Spiritist is being inclusive, I'm not talking, no, it is. If you're not being inclusive, if you being somehow, and don't get me wrong, we live in a society, we live in this economic system, we live in a place where diversity wasn't embraced. We have been talking about diversity, you know, for a long time, but it's time to act now. You know, we need to look at ourselves and say yes. So we're not gonna be, the that being that yes, no racism, no this, no that. I'm all no. We're not gonna just talk about this. We have to be that. So that's the thing. There's no other option for our spiritists, separate on their own on the things they feel comfortable for. Oh, that's my bubble. I'm gonna stay here. All the others are bad. No, this is nothing to do with being spirituous. We are inclusive because we know we are first create equally and we are equal before God. However, we are diverse being with so many reincarnations. So there's no way we're not going to embrace diversity. And it is really important. And I say that because I see the generations, my kids, they are being educated in a way that I wasn't, and they, it's really good because, they have all this awareness and they know they have to embrace this, and they leave this, the world everywhere in the world you go, in when back when I was kid in the 90s, beginning 80s, 90s, it was a lot of people didn't travel a lot, so there was, we just knew one or the other that went, lives outside our place, but we were not traveling. Nowadays, this is not, they they live with a diversity of, their friends. They are from, you know, every other background. Parents, grandparents came from another place, which is was that they were even, So if we don't embrace diversity, we gonna not evolving morally, you know, and we're not gonna be able to communicate with our generation, the next generation, because the next generation diversity is them. They are diverse. They are really diverse. We need to work on a lot of issues, and I'm saying, we oh, now I'm inclusive, everything is good, I'm not gonna be this, I'm not gonna be that. And no, it's gonna be situations that you're gonna, because I've been in this situation. Oh my God, this I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have, But that's the thing. We have to have the maturity to stop, analyze, and see. Yeah, this wasn't right. Because it's the first thing is how the other part felt. We put in their shoes. Yeah, I don't think they felt, even without intentions, but we don't live on a society that's all inclusive. Oh, we still see nowadays people say, no, I'm gonna stay on my bubble because my bubble is right, the other bubble's not right. And this is not being spirituous. So I emphasize again how important it is to embrace diversity, because if you don't embrace diversity, you're not being spirituous. Maybe if it's not for you, so maybe you could think a little bit more about we. Let's gonna say we, because I'm not saying here, it's it's just you, it's me as well, it's everyone, it's us actually. So charity and neighborhood love. So we come to the part of the charity. And in Spiritism, our motto is without charity, there is no salvation. And what diversity has to do with charity? Everything. So benevolence to everyone with tolerance. And I cannot emphasize more than that. Tolerance, tolerance, tolerance. You might find some acts it's wrong, and it may be wrong. Yes, it might be wrong. Yes, probably could be. No, not saying it's not. But you're not the judge. We should not judge. You know, extend our help without expecting anything else. This is charity. We understand, and we put in the hands of God, because God is just and his laws are immutable, and you cannot, how can I say, sometimes you can get away, we can get away, but not for long. you know we always gonna feel the consequences of not following God's law, which sometimes we say nature laws. So love and charity are the complement of the law of justice, because loving our neighbor is to do with him all the good within our reach, all that we would wish to be done to ourselves. So love your neighbor as thyself. This is it's really important. So we are different, we are diverse, and according to the law of charity, we have to do that. Jesus told us 2,000 years ago, and we're still struggling on that part. I'm saying we are. Don't come and say, we are better. No, we are still struggling. The thing is, we are in a moment of a transition. So we kind of run out of chances. I mean, chances to become, to get wrong all the time. This time we need to get right. Otherwise, Earth is not going to be a place for you to reincarnate again, but we still have going to do a lot. We're going to have all the chances we need to go. That's, as I told before, our path of development, self-development, can be long, because of our poor choices, but God, being just, will always give us the opportunity to actually um, to actually overcome, to actually come back again and perhaps fix, perhaps, trying to make better, you know. Always we're gonna have all the chances, whatever being we are. So that gets to the ones that, even the ones that harms us a lot, even them. And I know it is really hard to forgive. It's not something we do easily. No, it's not, and I still struggle with that. So, but we we need to just to wrap up, to embrace diversity, because this is mean not loving your neighbor as yourself. It's it's something we have to learn. We have to practice. Charity and neighborhood love. This is one of the laws. And in Spiritism, our motto is, without charity, there is no salvation. So there's no way you can be like, oh, this is not right. This is no. We don't do that. This is for God, not for us. We do the best we can for ourselves, and we treat the others as we would like to be treated. And I know there is, difference between sometimes what it's okay for me, it's not okay for the other. So there's a lot of gray area here. And I'm not saying like, oh, we all spirit has to be this very zen, cool, that yeah, I do this, I do that. No, because we're learning. We're gonna get wrong a lot of the times. But importantly, we are aware of things we getting wrong, and we try to fix it. We try to walk around, we try to make it better. And most importantly, we don't judge. We should not be judged. We are not. God is, you know, is just. He's the justice, not us. And so that's it's that it's for today. This is about diversity. So I'm just gonna take a bit of the bibliography. So the definition of diversity I took from the Oxford Languages. I took few chapters of the Spiritist book. I talk about the spirits, the incarnation, plurality of existence. Plurality of existence makes us say how diverse we are, the law of equality and justice, and the gospel according to with Spiritism. Without charity, there is no salvation. And I'd like to end just talking about our activities. We have public meetings every Sunday, and now from September, it's always 11:15, but from September, uh, every other week will be online, and every other Sunday will be online, and every other Sunday will be in our new location in Ringsend, Dublin 2. If you want to see the address, go to our Facebook page. But it's going to be always 11:15 the talk, roughly until 12:15. And our talk show every Tuesday and Thursday is still online. And the study group as well, it's online. So, and on Sundays that we're going to be on our new location in Ringsend, Dublin 2, we're going to have the healing there as well, Passy. The Passy, it's going to be there as well. And soon will be coming as well the Kids Gospel. For now, we have on Sundays, like next Sunday, will be in Ringsend. And we're going to have the healing, the Passy. And we're going to make some activities for children if children want to come. And it's not Kids Gospel yet, but just activities. And that's it for today. Thank you for coming, and I'm gonna do the final prayer, and then we go. So, if everyone would like to sit comfortably, take a deep breath, connect with the spiritual world, the gardens. Dear God, may this month of September be blissful. May this week be a productive and happy week for everyone. May our turmoils, may we receive all the support we need to go over our turmoils, our struggles. Thank you once more again for being here and for supporting us. So be it. Okay, that's it. So have a nice Sunday. Bye bye.